So, before I start with whatever I'm about to say, please realize this is hypothetical. I'm just trying to share a thought in a way to convey a picture. I had this thought a couple times, a phrase, the shot heard around the world. With all I see playing out, everything that I've come to recognize that has happened to us, if I could both administer and receive one shot, one last shot, that would stop all the other shots, and that be heard around the world, that reverberation of that shot, of that action of administering and receiving a shot, one last shot, felt around the world, I would gladly do it. Remember, I said this is hypothetical, but at the point I'm at, and the point I see all of us getting to with what's playing out, if I could give myself one last shot, and I'm talking about a shot of lead and copper, a shot of explosive kinetic energy, in a way that could be felt by others, though only would affect me deep in their heart and give them a clear picture in their mind of just how important it is to consider these different shots and what they're doing. I would do that because it feels like, to me, I know that there's no way I can protect and care for my loved ones in a society that is overrun in their mind with images of what these shots are and what they do. And I'm talking about all the shots. If I could give that one last shot to myself to stop those other shots, or stop folks in their tracks because they heard that shot go across the world, and then for them to just think for a moment, what are all these shots? And I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about shots of alcohol in whatever form you take it in. The way I took it in, that's coming from a 20-year alcoholic. I poisoned myself, my body and mind. I destroyed myself with alcohol. Shots, the vaccines, the shots that they do so much damage. My son did an excellent documentary about it. So pressed. And thank you folks very much for the comments you've left about that. It's a very important piece of work, and thank you for letting him and I both just know that this information has helped folks. This information has helped folks see that those things are poison and come back from the damage, or to stop further damage from being done, which is just my point. That's why I would administer and receive a shot, the next heartbeat, if I knew it would be heard and felt across the world, and stop these other shots from being taken. And to go one further, coming from the military path I took in life, of all those shots being taken, whether you wear a uniform or not, under no matter what flag you're under or who you're doing it for, it's all for the same evil. All of these things, all of these shots, they're all to destroy physical and mental health and destroy very real souls here that live here. All together, we all do. Should be as brothers and sisters, so to speak, under the Most High. Of course, I didn't know that for, like I said, for so long. And that's also why I have that thought and wanted to convey that message, because I would. It feels like if I knew that would be the way I could truly protect and care for not only my loved ones, because I know I can't care for myself the way I came up in the path I chose through life. I'm not self-sufficient. I can't provide myself and my family food, shelter, water, power, sustenance to maintain them. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it yet. And with all these things coming crashing down in society right now, if I could stop all those shots and things from playing out, and just help give men and women out in the world a moment of pause to reflect, and then maybe even it would draw more attention. You know, like I said, it's hypothetical. But that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm at the place of knowing I can't fix things out there. I'm at the place of knowing that no matter how much information I can convey to someone, they have to be open to it. I know that I can't give. Well, that's my point. I would give absolutely everything I am and have done and ever would do. I would give it all away if it would stop the things playing out right now and folks from harming themselves and each other from these different shots. Because I know I do not have that influence or power, that's why it's hypothetical. That's why I say realize I'm not suicidal or anything like that. And I don't dwell on those dark thoughts. That was just to share that based off that thought of shot heard around the road. Maybe it's part of the day I was born on the 4th of July. Realizing now I was conceived 9 months before that. It was pretty easy for me to break the spell of what I thought that day was and what it meant, what I meant, what the whole thing meant. To realize, yeah, I was born into a state of being independent on all these systems, just like for generations, it seems so. Anyway, maybe that's part of why. Maybe part of it is just seeing the psychological warfare, the electromagnetic warfare, the weather warfare that's being waged and played out, destroying the very country I tried to protect for a couple decades while thinking I was serving it, not realizing I was serving the very ones that are out to destroy it and all of us, and we're all along. Destroy and reorder it into the new version of digital enslavement and all-consuming toxicity. So that's where I'm at. One way or another, I'll have none of it. I will have none of it. And maybe one day that hypothetical, if that were to have to play out to where it wouldn't be a shot heard around the world or across the world, maybe it would at least snap out of those psychic bars and prisons the consciousness and conscience of the man or woman that was presenting me with that very last choice. And maybe I would be able to convey to them words similar to this in a moment, to let them realize that I take this act not to cause harm to anyone around me, but only to help. And it is the only way to protect and care for my family against an army of folks that believe incorrect information and are suffering the consequences of the toxicity of those choices and behaviors. Maybe that would at least help that man or woman snap out of it, go away. Maybe even listen to some of the words I've left behind to try and help folks avoid this eventuality of what's coming, what's playing out, what it's all being steered toward to. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not in a dark place, not suicidal, nothing like that. At least, not any more so than what the darkness of my consciousness can perceive. Just dwelling in that and seeing that play out. Though, in my conscience, in my heart, that is also connected to my mind, I do stay in that place of balance the best I can. Though sometimes I get a little bit out of balance, out of sorts, maybe because I also feel the effects of all of this weaponry and all these things playing out. And I feel the effects of seeing other folks harm themselves on mass scales only due to believing incorrect information, and it hurts. Because I feel for you folks. I've been trying to help everyone in my own small way. And it may not have sounded like it, and I apologize for how harsh some of my words have come out. Especially the longer this stuff has gone on and the worse it's gotten. The more I see play out and get worse when it could be corrected. It's just a lot. And I know you folks know this. You know just what I'm talking about, and you feel it. So thank you. Thank all you folks out there that are listening, that are talking, that are considering, that are trying. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of us. Well, it's going to take a lot of you. It's going to take a lot of you is try to be. That's my point. I can't do it, and I don't know enough. I don't have enough knowledge, ability, or resources to fix this place other than my ability to communicate messages. And that's all it's been. I thought and felt and knew if I could say certain things in certain ways, certain words and certain combinations of words to get others to maybe hear them for the first time, and maybe in that order, to get them to go, wait a minute, there seems to be more to that, and then go look. Because that's what others' words did for me in such a profound way sometimes in the past. And when I would hear things spoken and just be a brand new word I never heard, or a set of words put together to make the picture I had in my mind just a touch bigger, and then make me go, I need to go look at this and try and gain comprehension, deeper comprehension, and expand the picture I'm seeing and feel what it means. Sometimes only with a specific word. Sometimes that specific word or phrase will lead you to a whole program of things or system of things. It's how it worked for me. And I know that simple act of communication, no matter how fancy or not fancy, whether it's in the flesh or in this digital form, and it's the very thing that can stop all the harm from physically being carried out before it's the physical action is taken that will cause that harm. Communication and comprehension on both sides of that communication. So I guess I'll leave it there for now. I did feel like I needed to say something. I just didn't know what or how. So thank you for listening.